Hi, my name is Jacqueline Rose, and I do not think it's a coincidence that you're here. I think you're meant to be here. So if this message resonates with you, click like and subscribe to my channel. This channel is about the spiritual awakening process, the ascension process, self-help, self-love, and self-awareness. So today I wanted to share some techniques about self-care and self-love. I think this is so important. It was something I never even knew about, 2 years ago, and what it meant. So I've heard a lot of people say that, like, I don't have time for self-love, or I'm not integrating it into my life. So I wanted to share my stories about my life and how I integrated it, and maybe you can take something from it. So when it came to my weight loss, I had to shift some things because, of course, I was going to the gym a lot, and that was self-love for me, and I had to see it as self-love. And I had this weird obsession about, like, always keeping my house clean and everything looking perfect. And I had to give that up. And I had to see that it was delusional. I had this delusion that I could keep my house perfect, and I could do all the bills, and I could go to all the doctor's appointments, and I could do everything, and my husband could go to work, and it was delusional. So I gave that up, and I started to go to the gym, and that was a way of self-love. Now, not everybody can go to the gym like me, right? And I get that. But also, self-love and self-care, I make it a priority for me to wake up an hour early. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do 15-minute increments each week to work up to an hour, or if it takes you longer. I get up and I meditate, and that is a form of self-love. Now, I heard somebody say to me the other day that they get up an hour and a half early, but they only have 10 minutes to themselves, and that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I get up, and I get up like 2 hours early. 1 hour is for meditation, and the other hour is to get breakfast and get things started. But that is considered, to me, my own time too. I put on music, I put on inspirational things, why I'm doing chores, or why I'm getting breakfast ready for my family, or why I'm packing lunches. You can integrate self-love and self-care throughout your day. You don't have to have these 30 minutes to do nothing. Every moment in your day is to shift into the reality and the person that you want to be. So sometimes self-love can be jamming out in your car, and sometimes self-love can be in your car listening to inspirational things when you're sitting in an hour of traffic. If you live in Austin, you're sitting in an hour of traffic no matter what. But those times, I see that as prime time to, like, put something good in my life that cares and caters only to me. Self-love can be pedicures if you're a man or a woman. And self-care can be pedicures and manicures. Hello, I do nails. Like, I remember doing people's nails, and they would say, I don't know why I'm getting so tired. Like, I would do their manicures, like pedicures, yes, but I would do their manicures, and they would always say that they would get so tired. And it's because you've allowed yourself to just sit, And of course, not everybody has money to do those things, but you can sit in your room and you can paint your nails. Or you can, I always want to do something that's physical, or I like to integrate that. You can go on walks at night for 15 minutes. You have to check in your day where you're doing stuff that is, in my opinion, nonsense. You're watching shows that aren't really bringing anything to your life. You can watch those shows if you want to unwind. To me, I saw how it didn't really, like, help my life. I didn't want to watch the reality shows. They weren't really bringing anything into my life. If I'm going to watch something, it's going to be educational, and that can qualify as self-love and self-care. Having intimate conversations or relationships with different people, talking on the phone with your friends, like, those are all self-care. You're doing something for yourself. And I definitely challenge, because I'm always challenge yourself to look at, where am I doing things that aren't very productive in my life? Am I in the car in traffic and I'm not doing anything that's productive? I'm just sitting here thinking about how I'm in the car in traffic. Or am I paying attention to the, like, words of the music and letting it inspire me? And self-love and self-care is the foods that you're eating, the mindfulness of the foods. If you love to paint, like, take out 30 minutes, even if it's a week, 30 minutes of your week where you sit there and you paint. I mean, to me, doing these videos, I get such a high vibe off of them. Because I don't know who's going to see them. This is a form of self-love and self-care because it does something to me inside. If it's, you know, working out and physical activities, I try to do things like go on hikes. It's kind of hot here in Texas right now, but when it was cooler, I would go on hikes with my husband, which was out of my character. I wasn't really one to do hikes or anything like that. You know, doing things like that that are all about yourself, and kind of new things too, that you know, even if you were to, like, during your lunch break, go somewhere that you normally don't go, bring your lunch to somewhere that you don't go, and sit in a, you know, I don't know, an outdoor area and just ponder about life. I went to the river this weekend, and I got up at 6 o'clock. I laid in that bed at 6 o'clock and was like, I don't know if I want to get up. But I also thought to myself, like, when am I going to have the opportunity to go out to the river at sunrise and just sit in there and think about life and watch what's going on? That's self-love. Take the opportunities when you can, and don't go over all the things in your head of all the things you have to do, or you have to, like, that's, for me, that's why meditation is good, because it starts to help you clear your brain, not just in meditation, but throughout the day as well. And so I have to integrate that into my life. I think it's extremely important. You know, the self-love and self-care for me was with the gym, and I started to notice how that was self-care and self-love. To me, before, it was like, miserable. But you can have a mindset, is this miserable, or is this really getting you to the place that you need to be? Yes, it's hard. It's not easy. But now it's easy for me to go to the gym. It's just part of my daily life. But it is something that is really more than just physically. It's so mentally, like, releasing, you know? Anything that's going to be physically active. If you do gardening, I do gardening. If you want to mow your lawn, mow your lawn. My husband mows our lawn like nobody's business, I'm telling you. Because I think it's a point where he's able to unwind. He puts on his headphones. He's pacingly doing something that's productive. That's why when I put on music and I do chores, like, I'm productive, but I'm in a high vibe, and it just helps me. Like, you have to switch your mindset on everything, and you can make it into your self-care and your self-love. Not everything has to be about everybody else. Like, being a mommy, I know it's hard for me. I'm just going to talk on me. But, like, you always are having to do something for your children or your husband. And it's putting off energy that you can kind of go, okay, right now I'm not going to do that with my son, or I'm not going to do that with my husband. I'm going to go on a walk, or I'm going to sit in my room and I'm going to listen to this inspirational talk, or I'm going to sit and I'm going to read this one chapter of this book when I go to the pool. These are all little things that build on each other, and then you are building the new you. And the information that you're putting in your brain is building the new person that you are. So find the space in your life. If you have money to not clean, hire yourself a maid. If you have money to hire an assistant, hire yourself an assistant. I didn't have that. But if you do that to relieve the stress off of you. You don't have to be Superwoman or Superman. You know, you can be the best you can be. I'm always saying that. I'm just doing the best I can. And sometimes it doesn't look the perfect version, the delusional version of Jacqueline that I thought I had to be. But these are very important things to me, to really integrate these self-love and self-care. I remember talking to a friend, and they were watching some TV show, and I'm like, if you want what you want, this is the last 30 minutes before you go to bed. What are you doing with it? Not that there's judgment. There's never judgment, because I was that person. I did those things, and those things put me in the spot that I was in. So I like to not, like, I don't want people to think that I'm judging them, but I want them to notice, like, hey, you say you don't have time, you say that you don't have the energy, whatever, then you're going to have to do things. You can, preachers, you cannot continue to do the same thing over and over. If it comes to your job, if it comes to your body, if it comes to your well-being, if you do the same things over and over again, and you don't integrate little things into your life, you will get the same result. Hello? We all know that. So you have to take responsibility. Where can you put the self-love into your life? Where can you take out the things in your life that are not adding to it? See, I know you got it. I know you know. But I hope this helps somebody. I hope you'll have a beautiful day, and holler for a motherfucking dollar. Peace.